Supermajor powered by PGL and Perfect World, and you are joining us in an elimination match. Lower bracket, Optic Gaming against the Ropes. Virtus.pro took that first game. These two teams are already top 6, but Virtus.pro, they just want to win because, you know, that's Virtus.pro and they have a good shot at it. Optic, they just want to win here, this match. This is all that matters. This is their grand finals. This is their TI invite on the line. They need to win this series, and then they're guaranteed don't have to play scary qualifiers that are going to be very scary for the North American region. And people that can tell you more about that is Sunsfan, as well as Kyle and Bulldog. And I know we can talk about qualifiers a lot, but we don't want to, actually. We just want to talk about this match.
You're talking about North America.
North America.
It's the Americas qualifiers that are going to be hype and competitive.
You're just saying that because you're playing in the South America qualifiers.
Exactly. Well, no. I actually think why, you know, people are talking about how many qualifier spots does a region deserve.
Yes.
We should just keep it even. 2 each. 20 teams at TI.
And you're just saying that because you're playing the South America qualifiers, and they're probably
How
only gonna
bad
get
would
one.
it be if you don't get out of the opens?
Well, that's
After all.
one of the big upsides is that because there's a lot of roster instability, there's probably going to be like 8 spots.
True.
So
that's true. That's
Fear's old, but he's not that old.
I think there's only one regional spot then, probably, right?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
I think
for
so.
Sure. And that's going to be pain.
Maximum
We all know that.
2, yeah.
All right,
No
you guys. I mean, we could talk about that forever, really.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that we need to talk about more than anything else. It's Virtus.pro versus Optic Game 2. Optic need to win. We already decided that previous game, they had a good draft. That was not their problem.
Yeah,
their problem was play.
This is definitely a rough one because when you come into this series, Optic knows that they're not favored. They know VP is a better team. They know it in the back of their mind. And the first game, they try to cheese it a little bit, and they lose.
Cheese?
So draw is...
You're lecturing someone on cheese?
No. Alliance never cheesed. What are you talking about?
Sure.
We played the same draft over and over. That's not cheese.
That's a very aged cheese.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, but so what do you do here?
I think you cheese more. That's not cheese enough. You need to go full Limburger.
Huskar techies?
Yes.
No,
We can talk about that for now.
Not enough. Meepo techies.
All right,
you net
anything.
into the blast off. What is the counter?
There is no counter other than surviving until, well, if it's a Meepo, you can't survive until later.
There you go.
I don't know.
I think this is going to be the secret weapon.
Yeah.
Sai.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the Swede.
He is the Swede.
I mean, even though it's not a cheese, something like an Enigma, something that just changes the complexion of the game. I don't know. I don't know if I actually believe you should go full cheese or not, but I kind of do. I'm saying it just to say it, but I kind of believe it as well.
I really didn't. I don't know why we're flaming the draft. The draft is fine. They just took a couple unfavorable team fights. Bulldog's flaming the draft.
No, he's not.
No, I said it was good. It was good, but they lost the cheese. Yeah, it's a cheese strat, but they lost with it. That kind of puts you in a really bad...
How is Drow a cheese strat? They had
It's always been a... Visage draw. How is that not cheese?
All right, wait.
What the hell?
There is a big question, obviously, what people consider cheese.
Right.
Some people think just something unorthodox is cheese. People think that one win condition only is cheese. So I'll just pin this at a difference in opinion on what is cheese. But I think both of you agree that previous draft was good, regardless if it was cheese or not.
Can we just all agree that American cheese is the most disgusting of them all?
Oh, yes. I thought you were going to praise it. I'm ready to walk over it.
I don't even qualify it as cheese. It is so bad. All right, we can agree on that.
All right, we can agree to that. And no one agrees to that definitely as well. He's having a fun time. He played Death Prophet previous game, which is, you know, it's fun. I do like to see him a little bit more flashy, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's VP. They're probably, I mean, them and LGD are the only 2 teams that can actually enjoy the Death Prophet play. Because they seem to just make the hero look imbalanced, and you think, wow, this hero only got like a slight nerf. Like, what? We need to change this even more so. And then, of course, there's Dragon Knight, which, as we all agree, just needs buffs. I mean, only picked in 97% of the games here today.
Yeah. Warlock, first pick for Virtus.pro. Doesn't have the highest win rate this tournament, by the way.
We don't see it that much on VP either. It doesn't really feel like...
Oh, there we go.
Over Manja.
All right.
More cheese?
What do you mean?
To be fair, PPD is probably one of the best drafters in the scene. So you can play standard. and you can win because you trust PPD. So Ogre, you want to make PPD useful somehow, so you just give him the Bloodlust, right? Makes a lot of sense.
Bloodlust's really good.
So at the start of the sentence, he's one of the best drafters. You saying that's just covering because he's a liability as a player? How do you look good when all you do is buy wards, you know? Someone's got to support.
Well,
not that you would know.
I've seen his stream when he plays core and stuff like that, and there's a good reason he's playing 5. There's a good reason.
Oh, he's played the Ogre once before and he lost.
This
tournament.
This tournament.
Thanks. Thanks, Sheeps.
You're welcome.
Just to put an end to that conversation.
It was against LTD though, so I won't blame them for that one.
Time
Okay.
for all melee lineup.
I'm not sure I like the Sand King second. I would have much preferred some core.
They probably were afraid that VP would take it instead because Roger on the Sand King is very scary.
Yeah, and Warlock Sand King is probably like the dream combo just because the Epi with the Fatal Bonds is going to essentially slaughter everybody. You have great laning synergy. You want Sand King with Warlock. It just, everything makes sense.
You just pick DP here again.
Probably.
Like VP always does.
Yeah. It's a great game for you. You got 2 strength heroes that are actually, isn't Ogre intelligence?
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Melee intelligence.
One of them is one head is intelligent.
He might as well be strength though.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
It feels that way.
He doesn't have a lot of intelligence, that's for sure.
He's got 2 heads though.
Yeah, has to split it evenly between both. It shows.
I'm trying. Man, I wish I was more awake today. I would have. There's some comparison I can make here between my panel members and this hero, but a method to do so is lost on me.
I think that's just mean.
It is mean. But have you heard what he's been saying? Oh, I like this too.
Early Kanka.
It's a great Sand King counter. The X just, you can't really juke it too well as a Sand King. He brings you out of invis. You have a great team fight where Epicenter's going to be nullified. And then the Warlock, we've seen the synergy. A Fatal Bonds into a Tidebringer cleave. All of a sudden, you've got to run if you're Optic.
But the crazy thing about playing against Virtus.pro is they can just pick whatever they want, right? They can play literally anything. So if you're Optic, maybe you have some lineup you kind of have in mind already. You're just banning things that would be good against your lineup specifically, instead of banning heroes that you don't want Virtus.pro to play just in general. You know
I feel like you're just sitting here waiting to insert techies in some manner.
No, I don't think it's going to happen now, but I would love
But they
to.
could. They could. You're saying they could win no matter what.
10
Yes.
seconds remaining.
VP probably feel very confident here. I think they might not play 100% serious.
Yeah, maybe not.
Not this certain game, like 90%. Maybe pick a little fun hero. Maybe.
I mean, if that's a weakness of
Radiant
VP,
team
that's
pick.
what it is, right? Is sometimes overconfidence, at least historically speaking.
Same second phase bans this game from Optic. Morph Slark. Makes me think maybe they're considering Gyrocopter, but at the same time, you really don't want to pick that into a Kunkka Warlock. But you whenever you're playing with Ogre, you want some hero that can utilize both the increased attack speed and move speed. Something that just farms incredibly quickly, and you just play around this hero. You know, I think Luna's probably your ideal. We've seen Optic play that hero a bunch at this tournament already. They just lost to it, so it's possible, but a bit rough against Kunkka, much like a Gyro is. You just live through the initial ultimate, and you just sustain because you have the rum buff.
What do you think about Sand King being more of a 3 at the beginning of the game with like a Windrunner 4, and then they end up kind of swapping at some point? Was I playing that
More
Windrunner?
melee heroes.
Okay.
I'm dying?
All melee.
Skyrat.
Oh.
Alright.
Immediate Doom counter.
Yeah. That's a great pick. I'm sure they're, again, you know, they see the Omni. It makes Doom's value increase exponentially, but they're already thinking it. That's why it comes out so fast.
So 3 melee
Yeah.
versus
Alright,
Warlock
PPD.
Kunkka Doom.
How bad or good is that? Is it like, does it actually
10
matter
seconds
at this
remaining.
point? Do you look at this draft and see, well, that's a problem?
It is a problem,
It's
but you do have
5
Repel,
seconds
and you do have Omni ult, so that helps it a little bit. But you will get Fatal Bonds, you will get cleaved, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. You don't want any more melees, preferably.
What he's trying to say is the Optic lineup is doomed.
Ha ha.
Yeah, you really should have gotten more sleep.
You think a
only
hero
3
that they're
picks.
looking at potentially is Storm for Optic? It's not the worst against Doom because you kind of jump the hero.
You
but-
can't pick it here. You need I
Well, yeah,
think
it
you
would
need
be
your
a 5th
carry
pick
here.
Storm,
Yeah,
probably,
like
if anything.
I'm sure you just go like some Gyro or Luna, like just a carry hero that can farm ancients, lanes, like be efficient, play with the Ogre.
I hate to say it, guys, but I think Huskar has been countered this game.
Yeah.
Oh,
About
no.
80% of the pool
Please,
countered.
no.
you could SF here though.
Okay.
Maybe. Probably not. I think you just gyro or Luna, and then you last pick like this win condition hero that gives you a good matchup. I think it's too early to take your Storm or any mid hero, in truth. Also,
Virtus.pro's turn to pick.
then, ooh, okay.
Right. Could that be a potential deny pick? I think VP was looking at that with the Fatal Bonds combo.
It would have been really good this game for sure. I like it because it keeps their draft open. It can lane anywhere, and it's quite good just to counteract. Oh, that man!
It's always good against Sand King and Omni, of course.
And against
It's
Venno.
so good against Venno. You
There's
have a built-in
nothing
pipe.
bad to steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty scared, but Venno, that hero is so good. Every time I see it, it wins. So they've won, right?
That's what they want you to
It,
think.
it wins when good teams play.
But
though.
Rubik can be
10
Venno,
seconds
right?
remaining.
Think about that.
If he gets Zags.
No, it's not as
5
good as
seconds
you would think,
remaining.
just because you don't get the toxicity as well, the poison
Through the
sting,
plague wards.
whatever it's called.
Venno has been played 3 times this tournament and has only won once. But it was in the hands of Optic.
I probably only saw that game though. So.
Yeah.
Oops.
Unbeatable, impossible to win.
You got a lot. It's good. I think both teams have really nice drafts at the moment, though. They're certainly very mindful. I don't think either drafter is sleeping. Who is drafting for VP, by the way? Is it Solo or Ramsey still?
At the moment, it looks like Solo.
Yeah, right? He's very focused.
And he has his hand on the mouse, which is very important as well.
Yeah.
We will find out, though.
It doesn't look right when Ramses is drafting. He's usually just having so much fun.
Ramses is drafting, apparently. I just got word.
Oh, well.
5
The coach is
seconds
allowed
remaining.
to pick for them, right?
Yes.
Meaning, like, they can move the mouse physically. There's no rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want with your 6 men in the booth until the game starts.
Whatever you
Anything,
want.
say.
That's why you see some teams is like, coach, kick someone off and sit down, and one of the players stands in the back just waiting for him to get a seat back.
See PPD right there. What is his plan here?
I don't know. How do you round out this lineup against VP?
Well, you need some kind of physical.
Oh, it could be it's a really nice TA game.
Ban
Oh,
Huskar.
okay. Ban Huskar.
I mean, they weren't going to pick that.
Oh, wow.
Spectre.
Yeah, that's just to find your way onto the Venomancer. They would have big issues right now. Part of the reason that pick is so good is that you can't actually get on top of them. But now there's a Spectre picked up, and I think if you're Optic, you're looking at TA, maybe like a Lifestealer or a Jug, but I feel like your draft is just too single target focused. But like, yeah, you have a Venno. I mean, I want something that capitalizes on the
5
repel.
seconds remaining.
Well, that's why I was originally thinking Storm, but I don't think that's good anymore.
Could you go OD here?
Will they go back to
Is
the
that enough?
Lina, just
I mean,
comfort?
do you not want to go late game at all against Spectre, is my guess?
Ooh,
Lifesteal.
nice.
Lifesteal.
Okay.
Alright.
I don't know about this one.
It's the typical Spectre counter,
CCC Venno.
but they're really low on wave clear right now. No one really utilizes that Bloodlust exceptionally. The Lifestealer is not bad with it, but are you really going to be able to play fast enough against the lineup of VP? Like, their team fight is nuts right now.
Yeah.
They're very cooldown based, though.
You were wrong previous game. Who are you going to go for thinking that you're going to be right?
I'm going to let Bulldog go first.
He's just the last NA team,
Yeah, last
and they're going to go home now. I'm sorry.
Are you, though?
At least he wasn't harsh.
I was
No
expecting
flight
something way
tickets
worse.
yet. They can stay for the after party.
They made it to top 6, which is pretty good.
It's not pretty good. You got to get top 4 so you can get to TI.
Sure, it could be better.
Pretty
but
good is not good enough.
hey, if you look at it this way, you know, team is a rising line. They've been doing better and better all season. They're just looking to peak at the right time.
But you got to play against EG in the qualifier now.
Yeah, exactly. So they only have to play against EG in the qualifier now.
Bulldog thinks
Sorry.
this is over. I don't remember the draft, but it's the boys. It's green. It's green wall.
Yeah.
Hashtag it.
Nothing
Tweet
is
it out. Let's
impossible.
go. Let's go,
Or-
Optic.
Sorry, everything is impossible.
They were right. in the video.
These defeatists.
I'm
You with
gonna-
me, right?
I'm sorry, I have to go VP.
Oh, God.
That draft looks like
We're
a complete mess
screwed.
to me.
All right, well, let's find out what's going to happen in the second game of the series with Trent and Zayori.
Thank you so much, Sheever. Game number 2, ready to rock and roll, and I'm going to have to agree with the majority of the panel, Trent. I'm liking this VP draft a little more. What are you thinking?
The first Optic draft, very synergistic. You can kind of see it crisp and clear. This draft, it's like a bunch of parts, and it's not really the most common pairings. You know, you pick that
No.
early Ogre, you're looking for that cleave hero, get a little bit of Bloodlust going, farm super fast, something like that. And this game, it's like, I guess there's Bloodseeker? Or rather, there's a Life Stealer. There is no Bloodseeker.
No
that would have
Bloodseeker.
been kind of fun,
No
too.
Bloodseeker,
But we have a Life Stealer and a Venomancer to try and abuse the Bloodlust.
Yeah. I just worry about the Fatal Bonds this game. There are a lot of things that VP have that are great against these heavy melee lineups. 4 melee heroes. It's going to be a tough one. We're seeing a little dance party here at this bottom bounty rune spawn. A lot of heroes nearby. So far, not much damage exchanged. Pasha will be lit on fire with the Ignite. And the bounties shall be claimed, it looks like, for Optic down here. But VP actually able to get 3 yet again. Is this a bad sign here, Trent? Is this an omen?
Yeah, Zai not able to get the Burrow Strike play. Roger beat him with the Telekinesis, and so Roger gets the bounty rune.
And up top,
And
High
he
Cat
dances
actually
away.
takes a couple of right clicks there. Some kisses from Roger. As that Life Stealer gets put down to half HP. Okay. Oh, right back on to Ramses now. Spectre does have Desolate level 1.
Yeah, not
There's no
common.
dagger, and they really punish that one. Ramses gets knocked down low. Don't worry, though. He's got a Warlock, so it's not the end of the world.
I'm used to the Dispersion Envy first, or of course many people opting in towards the Spectral Dagger maybe to try and go for some early plays, but Ramsey's just fine because he's got his buddy. This has been a tried and true duo. Warlock stands back, he constantly heals. And they do have the aggression of the Ogre, someone who can like bully and everything, but his like overall damage output isn't actually that high. Like yes, he can sustain, but up against something like the Shadow Word, I just don't see it being enough to actually bully Ramses anywhere.
We'll keep tabs on that top lane, see how things go. I'm curious about the mid. CCNC on Venomancer against no one's Kunkka. It feels like we've seen these mid Kunkkas really perform well throughout this tournament, but we have not seen it matched up against a Venomancer yet.
No, true. A CCNC special, a classic, just a hero that's obviously applies a lot of pressure in the lane, maybe going to be able to help them take down this tower a little bit earlier on, and then even heading later into the game, we've seen what a force this hero can be. Just ridiculous amounts of magic damage. And they have the Omni-Knight on the Radiant side, but they don't really have too much up against the magic on the Dire side. Probably like a pipe coming out from the Doom would be one of the better options, and then the Null Field would be at least one thing to help them.
Yeah, we saw that Rubik pick straight away. It's kind of a classic counter to the Venomancer because of the Null Field, like you mentioned, and also good steals. You know, it's not a bad Rubik game by any stretch, so certainly a smart pick for Roger here. Moving down to the bottom lane, 3-3 and Zai going to be the safe laners for Optic up against the Doom Rubik. So a fairly even lane. I can't imagine one side really getting a big advantage without rotations.
You're going to be looking for those Burrow Strikes into heal bombs, so maybe onto someone like Roger would be kind of nice. But that comes with a couple levels into the Purification. Obviously, this whole laning stage for the Omni has been tweaked down a little bit by the Frog.
VP able to actually put some pressure on in the top lane. PPD did have to use that healing salve already. Now back down bottom. Telekinesis to pull things back, and some right clicks, but no real kill threat.
Yeah, on the one hand, Optic have brought the wave obviously pretty far back. They've got 3 range creeps at the tower right now, so that's looking pretty good. But that did mean that they were able to push out for Ramses. He got the Quelling Blade, and now life's a little bit easier as the Spectre.
And glancing back at the mid, seems like a pretty even spread so far. Kunkka 14-2, and then 15-5 on the Venomancer. So far so good.
Yeah, overall, still just looking for our first blood. I feel like it will be the bottom lane. They're trying something now, actually.
Yeah, now Solo gets initiated on. He's got the heal already, but is it going to be enough? Ramses joins the party with the right clicks, and Solo will make it back to the tower. Now in the bottom lane, absolutely, that Sand King makes it into the trees, and still no first blood is drawn.
Yeah, he's got the Mango kind of lurking, maybe hoping that Roger was going to creep over to that side, but Roger, well aware of his antics, won't find it.
Then even staying even in this bottom lane, Doom and Omni within 1 or 2 CS of each other. So a strikingly even laning phase here for game number 2, my friend.
Yeah, that mid lane CCNC not quite into the that early stick we often see, right? No one I've noticed, he's been throwing a lot of these fake torrents.
Yeah.
Trying to trick him, trying to juke him up a little bit there, but if you get the stick, you can always kind of guarantee that
Battle
you
for
know
the
when he
room.
actually casts it.
Haste picked up by Roger. Looking for perhaps a rotation mid. Definitely a kill threat onto CC, although Kunkka is only level 4. Now back up top. PPD taking a couple of right clicks, but I have a feeling we're going to continue to see a relatively static laning phase here, though, Trent.
Yeah, it's pretty unlikely anyone goes down up top, you know? It's not exactly the highest, like, burst damage cores and 2 supports that are just regenning away.
Well, as I say that, Roger caught by a stun. There's the purification, but telekinesis.
Yeah, this
It's
is
enough.
the party lane. This is where we want to see the action. Oh, CC&C, though. Getting a little low from no one.
Is it going to be enough? No one has a lot of stick charges here, so he could opt to dive this. He's got that Tidebringer up in 1. Oh, that was so close. I think with that Tidebringer damage, that actually would have been a kill.
Yeah.
Now on the other side, Zai with the Burrow Strike away. Very low on HP, but
CC&C
again...
got hit. He got torrented on the high ground and then hit by the Bringer. And give that man a tip.
Yep, Ramses is right there. Not a hesitation.
I'd give him a tip, too. Buy a stick.
That's
also pretty good. No, in all seriousness, though, he's not getting the Courier. That's the real problem from CC&C, because this Venomancer, you just throw him mid and you give him no help. The Courier has been going up, it's been going to the bottom lane, and has not come mid. So he's been buying some items that he's not been able to get. So now he has his wand and he has his cell.
Up top, more pressure onto Ramses here. The Ignite from PPD. It hurts, but like you were talking about, not enough to find kills. He does have that second point in Bloodlust, though, to try to help out that Life Stealer. Roger now TPing mid. Zai also lingering nearby. Speaking of that Courier, runs Zai his boots.
Roger on the wraparound here.
There it is, telekinesis, but immediate TP from the Sand King. Is it going to be enough as the boat connects? Certainly not. Zai does not get there in time, and it's another kill onto the CC&C Venomancer.
Yeah, and you think, oh, maybe I could turn this around with the Poison Nova. But no, he's got the front buff, so...
Yeah, tough stuff there. Now back in the mid lane, Torrent does connect on Zai. He's got a Burrow Strike. Probably not going to fall here, but no one unrelenting with the pressure on this Kunkka.
And it looks like it'll probably just be Shrine time for the 2 of them.
Yeah, seems so. Ramses getting pressured in this lane, but it doesn't really seem to be slowing down his farm all that much. Look at the net worth, and him and Pycat are right there with each other. He's got his phase boots already. This is pretty much the standard lane for a Spectre, all things considered.
Yeah. And Pygat, of course, as you said, off to a good start, but this whole idea of a synergistic draft. One, a drow strat, but then now you're into something that doesn't even really have an infest.
PPD left behind. As soon as the Life Stealer heads back into the jungle, they find the rotation, and the Ogre is left behind. Makes it 3-0. Ramses with another tip.
You know, he tipped Peter at the end of the draft phase.
This guy's a big
throws some
tipper.
tips to CC&C, that's it. You know, he blows them too early. You need these late game tips. That's the true, like, 9K MMR tipping game.
But you see, it's a team effort here, Trent. They get
That's true.
Ramses
Okay.
in early on. He gets the tilt going, and then they save the tips from the supports, you see.
We really need to develop the tip meta, I feel like. It doesn't seem like we're there yet.
Well, Roger, he's developed the smoke meta here. He's broken that one, and that'll be the end of this gank. I think PPD's smoke also gets broken pretty much right away. Ramses walks back into it, gets stunned once by the Ogre, follow-up Burrow Strike. Is he going to be able to survive, though? Great use of the dagger, and oh, wait, there's a Warlock there. He's got the level 2 heal, and Ramses is going to be just fine. Maybe they can punish the Warlock, though. However, Burrow Strike is back up, and they won't even need it to find the kill on solo. So it's a sign of life for Optic, but from the perspective of Virtus.pro, I think they're okay to keep that Spectre alive. Now in the bottom lane, Pasha getting repelled, and back mid, boat flies through. There's the Torrent. CC does have infused raindrops, and they're not going to be enough to save him. That would be physical damage on the Tidebringer there, and another kill for no one.
Yeah, and now Pasha being driven back there, a little bit close, but oh my god, action everywhere. Pycat has to be a little bit careful with those bonds. He's taking a lot of damage for that rage.
Yep, it's a level 5 Spectre, and he's trying to get back to the safety of the tower. Now a TP coming from no one does get canceled.
Dude, solo. I mean, the body blocks on a life steal. What can't this guy do? Doesn't matter what hero.
Whoa, Zai misses the stun here, but down bottom, Pasha falls to 33. We went from a passive laning phase to eruption in every single lane.
Yeah, huge that 3-3's finding plays. Honestly, it's, you know, he's going to have to start a lot of this game off for them, honestly. I don't really know exactly how well Pycat's transition with the armlet's really going to be. It feels like he has to be a farming core with his Bloodlust because he has no infest bomb. Like, he's 100% reliant on Zai getting a Blink Dagger. And so far, that's not really looking like it's going to be that fast. I mean, the Rubik's pretty far ahead of him.
Yeah, Sand King can play that Infest Bomb carrier role, but it's not ideal. It's not the same as like a Storm Spirit or a Centaur, or somebody that really just wants to jump in and be in that front line. Sand King needs to be a little more tactful. A lot of times that like Epi kind of counter initiation is really more what it's used for rather than starting off the fight with the Lifestealer.
Yeah, it also means you can't go for these early game ones before Blink Dagger. When you have these Queen of Pains or these Pucks, like you need these heroes that can utilize that very first Infest when I feel like you need to play a fast game, because that's certainly what this looks like. Obviously, with the last pick Lifestealer, Optic feel like they can maybe tango into that later game. It does deal all right with the Feast.
Yeah, generally, you don't want to go late game against Spectre, but Lifestealer does have some options up top. Solo, again, going to be caught by the follow-up stun. That little bit of extra damage from the Infest will secure the kill, and Solo ends up back in the grave, though Ramses will survive. So Optic still finding some kills and hanging on to this laning phase as we roll over to the 10th minute.
Yeah, that Observer Ward in behind the tower is doing a great job of just realizing when Solo leaves the safety box. Zai just
Zai falls now bottom. Pasha taking a lot of damage. He did use the Doom, and now the boat from no one. They'll turn onto the Ogre, and PPD will be sent back. Omni Knight will survive. The Doom not going to be enough for a kill, but does break up that initiation.
Oh, careful. Tidebringers.
Now Zai heading down to this bottom lane. So it does feel like VP are just finding the better of these rotations. No one almost level 10 on this Kunkka. He's having a great start.
PPD, he will take the tome for himself here. So looking for that level 6 on the Ogre to have an impact. Newly buffed, of course. Try and get the better percent chance on your 2x. Of course, he is rocking a level 3 Bloodlust, so still not going to be that impactful.
Yeah, very true. I think VP's very comfortable right now. Nothing too surprising in the way of items. No one just going for drums there. Pasha down bottom, taking a lot of pressure from this Omni Knight. He's going to go for drums himself, and then just go into initiation tools. Blink Dagger and Shadow Blade queued up for Pasha after the drum.
Well, this smoke up top will reap at least one aggressive ward here from Optic, as they'll now transition back towards the Spectre.
And they find this stun from Zai. The dagger's already been used. Ramsey's going to try to make it into the tree line, but Ignite comes. There's the Fire Blast and PPD. It's not enough. The boat's there.
And the heal.
They're going to turn it around the other way, and Ramsey's sipping up that rum. Will keep him alive as he TP's back. No one with the Tidebringer gets the kill on Zai. And again, a gank thwarted and then turned the other way. VP with the obvious advantage.
The next label playing.
So apropos from Roger.
I don't know, it just feels like they just don't really have enough right now on the side of Optic to
Just
pressure
feels like
this Spectre.
Kunkka was the perfect pick. He's turning these ganks around. I mean, how do they stop that from happening again, what we just saw there?
Be a bit quicker. Like, their burst isn't quite that good yet, right?
You say that, but where does it come from? I guess maybe the Omni Knight. That is a big piece of burst.
Would be good. I think giving more levels to Zai. I don't really get level 6 Ogre at this point. I feel like maybe Zai could use a tome, perhaps.
Zai's locked at level 4. Even just getting that 3rd point in Burrow Strike. He will find it now, but it's been pretty delayed. Yeah, I'm tempted to agree with you on that one there.
Oh, Peter. I know, he hasn't looked that tanky. He hasn't really looked like an Ogre. I don't know if he'll survive this one.
Yeah, it doesn't even have boots. Very slow-moving Ogre here. He'll get pulled back. Kunkka's boat connects yet again. Another kill up for no one. That's now a mega kill streak, 5-0-1. Up top, Solo just TP's out. Easy survival there. And in the bottom lane, Ramses will find some pressure coming his way. He's already used the dagger, hiding in the tree line. His game senses are tingling. A lot of Optic heroes missing off the map.
Pasha wrapped around on, though.
And he'll get stunned up. Probably just a quick pick onto Pasha. He'll try to TP now after his stun. It's close, but no cigar. Great use of that War Stomp, but falls a bit short.
Yeah, almost managed to escape there. Roger just kind of wandering around here, getting some wards down.
Yep, smoked up.
Some free vision for 40 seconds.
Those get broken, and now he steals the Purification. Great grab for the Rubik.
There it is. The Rubik counter to the Omni, something that back in the Omni Razor meta we had for like 2 or 3 months. Rubik was this top-tier support we saw all the time for this exact reason. Fantastic steals off the Omni Knight, and Purification is just so good in these early game fights. Like, this is where you want this level 4 Purification. It feels completely broken at this point in the game with that much pure damage.
Exactly. Virtus.pro already not really struggling to find these kills, and now you have that extra bit of burst to go with it. Speaking of burst damage, mid lane, it's a level 5 Sand King hit by the combo of Kunkka, but he Burrow Strikes away. They mistime it just a little. Optic, though, with a huge reaction. 3 TPs, one of them canceled. Lifestealer will continue farming up top.
Peter's heading for a DD rune down bottom. Oh, there's Doom up top, though.
Yep, right onto the Omni Knight. Ramses, no hesitation, haunts in, and this should be a kill on the Omni Knight. Best he can hope for here is a deny. Nice stun from Zion. Actually, the Shrine's up. That's going to pick him up a little bit, and Virtus.pro will have to let that one get away. Now, maybe the turn from Optic. Pycat comes in onto Pasha. He'll look just to TP out. Burrow's strike will prevent that one from happening. The stolen purification. The Doom still lives. Big fatal bonds and chaotic offering from Solo. They get Pasha still, but Zai goes down. Now CCNC with the Poison Nova. Does connect on quite a few, and VP are going to have to get out of here. Nullfield not going to be enough to save you from this one as Pycat gets repelled. They'll be pretty safe. Ramses with some right clicks. That Golem coming to help him out. GA even used for good measure. Boat onto the Kunkka, or pardon me, onto the Omni. Kunkka trying to set this up, but it's not enough with the Tidebringer. Ramses wants to finish this kill, and he will. Trying to make it back up to the high ground. Double cast on the stun, but that's it.
The never-ending fight rages on. However, it's less exciting when it's just Golem versus wards.
Yeah.
They just kind of bully each other in the river here.
Close call. It looked like a really good setup from Solo there with that ultimate combo, but they just didn't quite have the damage. CC was in a perfect position to break that fight up with the Poison Nova. You definitely cannot fight into that Poison Nova, even though it's only level 1.
Yep, still some nice pickups there, though. Obviously grabbing the Omni Knight at the end. I think, again, 3-3's game just very important right now for the side of Optic, and Solo gets soloed.
Little pick off there for Pycat. It's a freebie.
Yeah, wasn't able to get the TP out this time.
Yep. But that will happen. You know, you pick the position 5 Warlocks, certainly expect to get left behind on an occasion or two. More pressure coming down bottom onto Ramses. The level 9 Spectre in some trouble. The Venomous Gale connects, and they've got plenty of damage. The epicenter from Zai, making it an easy bring down.
Now that's a great kill at this moment. 3 kill streak. You've got a Spectre off map for 30 seconds, and he also loses all of that gold while trying to build in that Sacred Relic. But what are they going to do with it? I guess might be one of the questions. Can they even press forward right now as Optic? They have the Yule Scepter on 3-3. I think he's looking to play a little bit more aggressive now. CCNC has the ultimate back in another 30 seconds, but what kind of objectives can you actually take with this draft? Maybe with the Deso, they could look towards the Roach Pit or something. In terms of actual structure pressure, fairly non-existent. I mean, Venomancer can be good if just no one shows up. And they are lacking in terms of the supports. Really are the only ones who can deal with the wards, but hasn't really been an issue for VP.
Well, right back into the lane. Ramses initiated on immediately. The 2x Fire Blast from Ogre, but the burst isn't enough, and now the punishment will come. Telekinesis, follow-up damage onto Pycat. He does have the Infest, and that will keep him safe for now.
Yep, grabs the range creep, so it'll fall to the back. That might be enough to get him out of here.
Big rotation, though, from Optic. This is their entire team now. All
no
5.
One's looking for a play. Not enough damage, though.
He sure is. Doom does have a TP available right now, farming in that bottom lane. So if Optic commit and dive onto this tower, he definitely can make the rotation. Doom does have the ultimate, but no chaotic offering, though. It is up in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, and Peter went for boots, so he's a little low on the sentries right now. Won't be able to find that ward.
What a greedy Ogre. He bought boots?
Hey, man, I'm just saying. You know, you look at this, CCNC fully spotted. Obviously, the creep wave comes in, so good reasoning there.
Yep.
And they'll head under the tower to try and finally knock this down.
Get no one. Here's the Shadow Blade. They want to start off this fight. Chaotic offering connects on 2. They'll find that first kill and make it 2. CC and PPD both down. 3-3 with the repel TP. He'll live, but another brutal fight going in favor of VP.
Where did the HP go? The Bonds, the Tidebringer, absolutely destroyed there as soon as that started.
Yeah, that was a, hey, this looks like an okay fight for Optic. Oh, my word. And it is not a good fight for Optic.
And again, it's just, it feels like Vision, honestly. Like a ward just sitting right there by the tower. It's like, oh, hey, there's the entirety of Optic. Let's set up perfectly. And this extremely early Shadow Blade has been punishing them very hard from no one. You know, he got off to a crazy good start. And this is one of the best items to abuse a team that honestly just can't even afford the sentries right now.
And it hasn't even really come online for Virtus.pro yet. Of course, Ramsey's still farming towards that Radiance, just about at Relic Gold. So this window where Optic can kind of abuse this underfarmed Spectre feels like it's coming to a close. And this mid-game is going to get a lot more difficult once that AoE burn comes out. The top tier 1 tower does go down. Pycat getting credit for that. That secures his Desolator and opens up the Dire Jungle a bit more as no one pops forward. Some pretty low-risk damage there with the X on himself. Very nice.
Yeah, I do like that Optic are abusing the cooldowns though. Like it's hard to abuse these quick deaths and everything, but the fact that there's no golem for that long, they're able to just go and clean up the tower. There's no haunt available for another minute and a half. But VP are pressing forward too.
PPD, they've found an Ogre. It's an X-Torrent combo, but no follow-up to find the kill. Repel comes out straight away. Now, this has basically just been 4 heroes of Virtus.pro in the top lane. Doom has gotten a lot of space in this bottom lane, and Pasha went from a little bit under-farmed to actually pretty decently farmed. He's got the Blink Dagger now, and going to start working on that Shadow Blade.
They're going to bring Roger in for this kill. Blink, War Stomp with the Rubik. Should be easy.
And they've even got the Dust. They'll go ahead and deploy the Doom to make this a relatively easy kill. Not much Zai could do, and that'll be one more up for Virtus.pro.
And just as he's starting to lose that purification, right into the Burrow Strike. Excellent Rubik game for Roger, and so far he's executing 0, 1, and 6. 20 minutes coming up here. Optic pressuring in for the bounty runes, but likewise with that kill down bottom, well timed from VP, so they'll just get the southern ones.
Yep, likely to be a 2-for-2 bounty split. No one has been playing very aggressive with the Shadow Blade, like you're mentioning, and now more sentries are coming out. Not going to be able to catch him here as he's farming the jungle.
At least once Ogre hits level 10, he can get 1 sentry a minute.
That's true. 90 gold. Not a bad talent, but still has some XP to go. He's not even level 8 yet.
So CCNC's been mid for quite a while now. We're starting to amass these wards. See if this is a situation where they can actually get this tower knocked down, even with the golem available.
Yeah.
Curious if they just kind of give up on this pressure. I mean, wrapping it from behind, an Invis rune and the Burrow Strike available on Roger.
This is the dream situation for a Rubik, but might not really get to use it here.
It's scary because of the sentries, right? Like, I think he should be a little bit wary of the Ogre, as he'll go in now.
Yeah, just drops the stun. And now the follow-up. They might actually get the kill on Omni Knight. No, Yule's Scepter is there. That'll keep him alive, but a nice try from VP. Now on the other side, Ignite, follow up Venomous Gale onto Solo, but oh, those fatal bonds. It's another big Warlock hold on 3. Now Optic could be in trouble. Haunt as well as GA's been used, but it's a stolen GA from the Rubik. This looks like it could be Virtus.pro's fight. Can Optic get out of dodge? 3-3 will make it back, and it seems so. It's just a dead Warlock. All right.
Yeah. At the very least, I mean, you have Rage to get off one of the bonds, and then you can also just repel the other one, so
true.
You're fine.
True.
It's not too bad as long as they have a chance to react there. And pressuring Solo. I mean, it's one thing to kill him first so that the Golem won't be there. They got the Golem, they got the kill, and that means they can probably press into this tower now.
Haunt also used. Doom still on cooldown from that kill on the Sand King, so yeah, maybe.
The problem is this really enough, though? I mean, we're talking about a tier 1 at 22 minutes up against a Spectre lineup. This doesn't really feel like a massive victory.
No, you're absolutely right there. And even so, it's been glyphed. No one comes in using his X on himself.
The blink on the Infest.
However, this time he will be punished, and they'll have the damage. It's a big kill on no one. Pycat getting that shutdown gold as they finish off that tier 1 tower. So that feels very good for Optic right now.
Yeah, getting the kill to boot is great, for sure. But Radiance time, 77 seconds until we'll have ourselves the first Haunt along with it.
But that kill does get the Blink Dagger on Zion. This is one of the items we talked about, unlocks this Optic draft for a lot more aggressive potential.
Yep. In terms of just like blinking, Burrow Striking, and the Infest Bomb, what do we have to counter that right now? Basically, we're essentially looking at Doom. Like, realistically, I mean, there's the Golem ulti too, but we're kind of hoping that that's either going to be on cooldown when they're taking a fight, if you're an Optic fan.
An interesting Pasha, at least for now, changing his mind, it seems. Switching from the Shadow Blade into the BKB. So just some magic immunity. A pretty core item against the Venomancer, have to admit. Obviously, it doesn't dispel Poison Nova, but still mitigates a lot of its damage.
Yeah, and I really do think that if you're playing up against Peter, it's really not worth going for double Shadow Blade. Like, this guy he never buys items, honestly. It's just sentries all day. Maybe with his GPM talent, that'll change, but...
Bottom tier 1 will fall uncontested. Another objective for Optic. That'll make it 3-0 in total tower count, maybe 3-1 soon as Roger is pressuring up top. Looks like Optic want to continue putting on the pressure here at this bottom tier 2, though, in the top lane. There's Infest Bomb, finishes off Roger. That's the reveal of the Blink Dagger on Zai.
Yeah, and what's great about that is that not only are they applying this pressure down bottom, but you're able to get a kill in the side lane, because right there, Roger's thinking, okay, they're all bot. Like, I'm going to push this out. I'll TP when the fight's actually starting.
Oh, they're going to catch the Veno here. It's no one in the front lines. They've got the repel. That will break this up. Now Ramses jumps in deep, and they're actually going to turn the 2x as Pasha now with the ultimate onto 3-3. The follow-up chaotic offering, but they've already lost their Spectre. They will get the kill on the Omni Knight. CC falls shortly after. The Dire Courier also getting caught as Solo trying to live in the trees will not be so lucky. Pretty chaotic fight, but in the end, it's a 2-for-2. That Rubik, of course, dying up top.
Ooh, nicely done there. Good execution from the Doom. Pasha gets to the backline and finds that Omni Knight. He got the one save off the X using the repel, but clearly he wasn't there for the rest with the Doom being available. So overall, though, I mean, I do like the execution from Optic, but they clearly couldn't quite back away in time. At least they got Ramses. Getting a little bit too aggressive there with just the Radiance, no defensive item quite yet. But
still, even in that fight, Ramses did a lot of damage. 2,300 really on the Spectre, and it's just going to get worse. He's going to start tanking up. He'll be an even harder target to bring down, as now Ogre going blow for blow with Pasha. No one's going to walk in and says, hey there, I've got a Tidebringer. And a couple bounty runes will also get picked up by VP. Yeah, Pasha even grabbing that bounty, so unfortunate for PPD there. Died basically for nothing.
BKB.
Yep, and BKB also coming for the Venomancer, but isn't it a little scary seeing these BKBs coming out for VP? Makes you wonder how Optic are going to win those fights when they have so much magic immunity.
It's a bit tough, surely. You know, obviously CCNC very reliant on that at the current moment.
Also want to point out ward coverage right now. A lot of dire wards down and pretty key access points. Where's the Radiant Vision right now, Trent?
I don't know. It's been the story of this whole series, honestly. Game 1, and then mostly through this one, too. It just feels like the Observer wards are better placed for VP, whether it be defensive ones when they know where the pressure is coming from Optic, or aggressive ones to allow them to be the ones to initiate. But in this case, that is obliteration.
Yeah, wards,
he just vaporized.
Not going to save you from that one.
No.
Solo died in the blink of an eye, but again, it's just the Warlock.
And that was a smoke.
And that was a smoke, exactly. You see that from the VP
and he doesn't have gold
perspective, and you're like, you know, I think we'll take it. We know exactly where they are. We're all spread out farming. If anything, VP might have gotten the economic advantage from that. However, Optic move into the Roche pit now. With or without Solo dead, he doesn't have Golem for another 25. They are able to kill Roche pretty quickly, and it seems VP won't be able to contest this too easily. No one is invisible running up the mid, but Roche going down quick.
And he's going to assume that there are sentries right there.
Are they going to haunt for a steal? No. Pycat will finish off the Roshan, grab the Aegis, boat flies into the pit. No one with a very aggressive posture. There's the GA as well as the Poison Nova. VP going in a little bit too hard as they lose Pasha.
They doomed Pycat. I mean, he doesn't care.
3-3 though, up on the high ground, a little bit low. I think this is all Optic all day. It's a nice stolen stun from Roger, and maybe they'll get a few more. The Aegis goes down. Ramsey's able to survive through this, but they've lost no one.
That was getting dicey though. Ramsey's getting a little bit close to Pycat, but that excellent play there by Roger, having a fantastic game so far on the Rubik, again with the Burrow Strike. And once more, that was an engagement without the Golem.
Right, and that's what secured it, I think, for Optic. They don't really get an advantage, though. The net worth does favor Virtus.pro at the end. This probably does not factor in Roche. They always have to keep that in mind. Roche did go the way of the Radiant, but the Aegis was also burned in that fight. So, kind of a wash. We're right back to where we started before that Roshan. And there is still a Warlock Golem available, so some options for VP, but let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, starting out from no one. He was invis outside, and he just starts popping the Torrent, but the BKB coming in huge from CCNC, but the Rage is already going, and the Doom comes out, and Pycat says, okay.